Man United 3, Luton Town 0. My local boys did not upset the party where I couldn't even go and do my shopping in Luton. So I'm pleased about that. I was weirdly nervous about this game, man. It could have been a potential banana skin with the pressure that was on us from Crystal Palace. This had the potential to go really wrong. And if it did, I don't even want to imagine what social media would have been like, and not even just social media, just fans in general. Give myself a little bit of headspace there. What fans in general would have been like. We just could not afford to lose this game at any stretch. And 3-0 does flatter us a little bit because for large parts, it was a really evenly contested game. I thought we started very well, first 10, 15 minutes in complete control. Luton pressed back, which you would expect. And we did really well. Kept the ball moving very well, with intent, with purpose. And then I think after Matt, who played really well, which I'll get onto, forced a save from the Luton keeper straight for a corner. After that point, we just dropped off. And at one point, Luton had upwards of 70% possession for the remainder of the first half, which really wasn't good enough. And just those same signals and them same signs of what happens when we mix it up is kind of what happened. And like I said earlier, 3-0 did flatter us a bit. I did predict a tight KG 2-1, sorry. And it was looking, like that type of prediction. Tight, boring game. And this is Luton's B team, by the way, as well. They made a hell of a lot of changes. I think 10 changes for this game because they got the big game against Watford on the weekend, local derby. So, yeah, we did what we were supposed to do. I was impressed with Lingard. I thought he buzzed about the place well. He used the space well. He dribbled well. The end moments of quality wasn't there. The choice of pass or the shot execution wasn't quite there. But he looked good, but he should do. It's Luton. Matter, I think, played well. He got man of the match on the TV. I thought he was popping up in great positions, using the ball well, getting into key positions. Obviously scored the penalty as well. And probably should have had another as well, at least another one. So probably should have had a brace. But he was bright. Disappointed in Ighalo, man. I think what we're seeing from Ighalo now is a little bit of actually the honeymoon bit of him playing really well is kind of fading out. The last couple of times I've seen him, he's just looked off the pace. I don't know if it's pre-COVID or post-COVID since we've come back, but the ball was bouncing off him. He just looks like he can't move at the minute. Watford fans probably be saying, "I told you so." He was always crap since after he left us, but all we can go off is what he's done at Man United. To be fair, since he's come, anytime we've called upon him, he's been really good, but not so much in the last couple of times I've seen him. Got to talk about the back line. Look, it was a clean sheet today. And shout out Dean Henderson. I'll get onto that as well. But for me, I liked what Eric Bailly was doing. A lot of people saying Bailly has to start. And after how bad Lindelof was against Crystal Palace, I think Bailly should start. Do I think he will start? No, I don't. I think Solskjaer's going to keep faith in Lindelof. It's clearly his number one partnership. I would love to see a statement from Ollie and say, you know what, Bailly, as long as fitness providing, go and play 10 games. I'm going to give you a chance with Harry Maguire. So long as you play well and we're winning or whatever and you're not injured, go and have a run of games or even 5 games in a row. Give him a run of games with Harry Maguire. It can't be any worse than what we're seeing with Lindelof. I know Ricky was very sceptical about that. And a few hours I've seen on social media sort of saying that Lindelof is more steady. And although Eric Bailly is quick and stronger than Lindelof, he's not as good on the ball. But I'm sorry, I just think it's just about matching up. And in my opinion, I think we can afford to lack a little bit on how good he is on the ball, etc., because we've got that turn of pace, we've got that intensity. There's a couple of times where Maguire, they kind of played the ball inside him, and then the Luton striker, I think, turned him and he was in. And I'm looking at Maguire and I'm thinking, oh god, here we go. And Bailly just swoops round. Yes, there was a couple of times where he gave the ball away, just like there was with Maguire, just like there was with Brandon Williams. That was what was annoying me about the first half in particular. Anytime Luton looked dangerous was when we kept giving the ball away in stupid positions. And I'll get onto Brandon Williams and set. So for me, I think Eric Bailly has to come into the team, surely. For me, there's no other way. You're looking at it, you're looking at the attributes that he possesses. I think he fits better with Maguire. I know it's down to injuries. I get that. And that's our biggest question mark over Eric Bailly and probably why he doesn't play a lot of the time. But also the reason why he could be getting injured, or the reason why he doesn't play a lot is because he has that stop-start. It's like I remember when he came in against Chelsea last year, played brilliantly at Stamford Bridge, then he's out the next game. So I would like to see him just get a consistent run of games, especially when there's so much question marks over Lindelof. It's just whether if Solskjaer does that, you know what he's like, that's basically saying to Lindelof, you're not my guy right now. But you hold bench for a bit, bro. Hold the bench. You can do that. Do you know what I mean? So I want to see Eric Bailly there. Brandon Williams, he won the penalty, to be fair to him. That was the bright spot that he did do. But I just don't think he's fully comfortable on that left-hand side. He can defend one-on-one sometimes, not consistently. He is quick. I think he was unlucky with his yellow card. I give him that. He showed good tenacity to get back and good pace, good recovery to help out there. Don't think he should have got. I don't think it's a foul, let alone yellow card. But I'm talking about when he's carrying the ball. When he carries the ball, even if he receives it on his back foot onto his left foot, he won't push forward with his left foot and drive past his opposite number, whip a ball in, or even drive him with his left foot. He just looks to come inside every time. His first thought is almost to try and receive it on his right foot and pass back inside. If you're gonna do the Dennis Irwin position as a right-footed left back, you need a proper left foot. You need a proper left foot. You need to be completely two-footed like Dennis Irwin was. I don't even like mentioning Dennis Irwin in this same bracket because it's a whole different level. But I want you to try and understand what I'm saying. If you want to play that type of fullback, i.e. a right-footed left back, you better have a proper good left foot. Do you know what I mean? You better be like a Mason Greenwood of a left back. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to play there as a right-footed guy. So I just don't see it. I don't see it. And obviously Luke Shaw is better in that position, but I think he struggled a little bit just in terms of the way he uses the ball. Wan-Bissaka, I think he just needed a run out and he pretty much had a steady game. But midfield, look, I'm going to say Solskjaer's got a little bit of a dilemma on his hands. I think he does. It's a positive dilemma though, and I think Solskjaer needs to make the right choice. And Matic did what Matic does. Yeah, I knew he was going to play like that. I knew he was going to bring a calming influence. There was a period halfway through the first half where we dropped off collectively as a team and we didn't have much control over the game, if any. And we allowed Luton to have the ball. Not that they hurt us a lot, but I didn't really like that. It was almost like we were like, okay, we'll be in our shape, see if you can hurt us, sort of thing. We shouldn't be doing that against Luton. I don't know why that actually happened, but Matic did what Matic does, and Matic has to play in our team, especially with the arrival of Van der Beek, which obviously is a more offensive midfielder. And him and Fred played well, I thought. So Matic and Fred played well, and either one of them needs to start against Brighton. But I would say Matic, he needs to, in a weird way, yeah, with the current players that we've got, when you've got Pogba, you've got Bruno, and now you've added Van der Beek into it, all three offensive midfielders, right? Matic almost needs to be the first name on the team sheet in midfield, let's say then. Maybe not first name on the team sheet because, let's face it, with Ollie, that's actually Maguire. But and obviously the strikers. But when I say first name on the team sheet, I mean he needs to be a mainstay in the midfield. He can't play every game. We know that. He can't play every game 90 minutes and he can't play every game in a week. I understand that. But by and large, he needs to play because of the balance. He needs to play because of the balance. And when I say it's a bit of a dilemma is because Van der Beek, although he didn't score, had a shot on target as well, could have scored. He seems to just be doing, not seems to, his awareness is brilliant. He's always in the right place at the right time. He's always releasing the ball at the right time. And it didn't quite come off for him for large parts today. I understand that. But he uses the ball very well. He plays the simple passes. He keeps it very, very simple. I don't see Solskjaer changing it and taking Bruno out the number 10 and playing him deeper or playing Pogba higher up. I don't see him dropping Pogba for Van der Beek right now and letting Van der Beek start the game. So, yeah, for me, the biggest one for Solskjaer is actually playing, making sure Matic is playing. But for me, I think there's an argument. I don't know. I think there's an argument for Van der Beek to get a start over either Pogba or Bruno. Just to try it out. Just try it out, man. Do you know what I'm saying? That's the sort of quality we want come off the bench. If Pogba don't start the game or if Bruno don't start the game, then you've got them to come off the bench if it's not working. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I mean about the dilemma. And look, to finish off the game, I think we only really sealed the game by bringing in the big guns. Do you know what I'm saying? Mason with a well-taken finish and Rashford as well. And that's going to do their confidence. It's going to do their confidence well. It's going to do their confidence well. So they needed that. There's no doubt that them two start for me as well against Brighton. And Dean Henderson to finish off. Dean Henderson, big up to him, man, because he didn't have anything to do the whole game. Nothing. Zero to do. Didn't have to make a save. Barely had to take a goal kick. But when called upon, he pulled out a massive save. Because I tell you what, this was before Rashford, Bruno and Mason came on. If that goes in, obviously 1-1, late in the game, probably goes to penalties. Do you know what I mean? So he needed to be alert there. And as soon as it left the Luton player's head, I thought it was a goal. I did think it was a goal. And he pulled out a really good save. Would I start him over David De Gea because of that? No, I wouldn't. David De Gea pulled out one good save against Palace, had that pass that he had that went a bit ski with, and then was moaning. But I don't think he did enough wrong to lose his place just yet. But it was positive, very positive from Dean Henderson. You know, in a game, this is what I mean about being Manchester United goalkeeper and being Sheffield United goalkeeper. Sheffield United, you're going to work a lot more. You're going to face a lot more shots. Great shot stopping, great. But at Man United, it's going to be games like tonight when you're not being called into action for long periods. Are you going to stay concentrated? Are you going to stay focused? And are you going to pull out big saves at big moments? And yes, it was against Luton, but I tell you what, it could have been completely different if he did not save that. So fair play to him for that. And distribution-wise, knocked it out a couple of times, but other times just had the intuition to go long, not trying to force it, not trying to play out from the back at every opportunity. If you're being pressed and it can't work, just get rid of it and then you play off the second ball. So big up Dean Henderson as well. So yeah, and I like what Matt had to do as well. Solskjaer, I would have liked to have seen a few more first teamers playing just to get those minutes in the tank. It wasn't to make sure we beat Luton, because we should be beating Luton with whatever team we put out. No disrespect, but that we should. With the players that we got, we should. But I would have liked to have seen it, just because I know there's a few more first teamers who need that game time. You know what I mean? Maybe start Martial, Greenwood and Bruno, not Martial, Rashford, Bruno and Greenwood. Start them, take them off after 65 minutes once, you know, because that game, if we would have started them, that game would have probably been 3-0 by half time. Do you know what I mean? Then you take them off. But hindsight's a wonderful thing. We didn't get any injuries, and we moved. So for me, to finish off, Matic has to start. Bailly has to start for me. There's a shout that Van der Beek should start, although I don't think Ollie would do it. I think the only person who will definitely start, excuse me, will be Matic. And if he doesn't start, I'll be completely surprised and don't know what he's thinking. Unless it's Fred, which I'll happily go with. But for me, Matic is the one who's got to play. And yeah, roll on the next round. But more importantly, it's all about Saturday, man. We need to get our first Premier League win of the season. And it's going to be tough. I already said Tariq Lamptey's playing very well for Brighton. And if Marcus Rashford wants any change out of him, he's got to go up the gears. So hopefully that goal will give him the kickstart that he needs. Same with Mason Greenwood on the other side as well. We've got to play well against Brighton to beat them. They're going to be confident. They just slapped Newcastle 3-0 and they played very well in that game. Neil Maupay, Connolly up front. They're going with the two. At least I think it's Bissouma. At least he got sent off, to be fair. That he is actually playing very well. So that will help us in midfield. But they're an organised team. So we've got to be at the races and we need to win. Draw is not good enough, because going into the next batch of games, who is it? Tottenham, Arsenal, Chelsea, Newcastle away, Everton away. Big games, tough games. And all them big games that I mentioned are at home. So not that counts for much these days. So it's vital we get 3 points. This tonight is not enough to calm everyone down. It's all about Brighton. If we don't win that game, it's not even back to square one again. It's worse than square one again, losing to Palace. So roll on Saturday, 12:30. My man of the match, I'm going to go Eric Bailly. I think he was solid. I'll give it to Eric Bailly. Although Mata was superb as well, and Lingard was good as well. But I'll give it to Eric Bailly. Make sure you subscribe to the channel if you're new. Bottom right hand corner, smash a like on the video. Hit me up on the socials, Flex UTD as well. Across all of them, and more importantly, make sure you guys are following all the United Stand socials on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. I'm out of here, guys. Peace.